Hello and welcome back to my audio adventures. I am Timothy Adon, and today we are going to talk about trimming and splicing. Behind the scenes, you will know that just about any entertainment industry that involves film or audio does a lot of editing behind the scenes that people don't tend to notice. And I am going to do that right now. This is the audio from my introduction video. And I had to do a little bit of behind-the-scenes editing to make it sound as good as I could make it sound. And a part of that has to do with the first and second take of this particular scene. Through all that technical knowledge and research gained through I got a little tongue-tied right there. But aside from that, the audio itself is really good. So, let's move on to the second take. Through all that technical knowledge and research gained through education. All right, that take was really, really good, except for one issue. I tend to run my microphones pretty hot. So right there, through all that, you'll notice that there is a very, very bad case of clipping. So what I did when I edited this video was I took, through all that technical knowledge from the first take, and I replaced that same area on the second take. So let's just cut this part right here. Now, you'll see the waveform. A really important part about cutting on the waveform is when you cut, you want to make sure that you slice it right on top of the zero crossing, which is this line in the middle here. Reason being is that is where the sound is not currently moving. If you were to cut it anywhere else and try to splice it anywhere, you'll get a click and a pop. And that is not ideal, especially when your goal is to try and not have clicks and pops anymore. So, I'm going to try and find, through all that technical knowledge and research, try and find where I need to be. And research. Okay. So, right here is where I want to cut. So, zoom in. Now, you'll notice the beginning of the next word is right here, and the end of the last word is right there. This middle part, there's no sound going through it, so I'm free to cut basically anywhere in there. And we'll just take that and move it over here. Now, let's go up here, and we need to cut out the same portion. Through all that technical knowledge, so same thing, snip, take out the trash, and then we'll take this and throw it in its place. Now, the one other thing that we need to make sure we do is we got to make sure that it lines up right. Otherwise, it's still going to sound very weird. And then once it lines up right, we will do a crossfade, which I will show you in just a second. Through all that technical knowledge and research gained through education. All right, so that sounds very, very good, doesn't it? Now, one last thing to make sure that nobody notices the crime that we committed here is apply a crossfade. Now, most recording software that I've seen so far has a non-destructive crossfade that you can just apply to the tracks like this. And it's just really, really nice and easy. No harm done. And then if you wanted to get more complicated and be absolutely, positively perfect, you can do a destructive fade where you can pick exactly how the fade is going to occur. But there's no need to do that here. And what the fade does is it really quickly silences the track and then does the opposite on the other track, where it starts the other track off at 0 volume and then quickly increases it. Now what this does is if there were to be any form of blemish in there, we would be cutting the volume down on it for a split second to make sure that nobody heard it. So, through all that technical knowledge and research gained through education, couldn't hear a thing. And that is exactly how that works. Now, what I did for this whole video, we recorded the entire thing through, and I essentially just had to cut all of the parts that I didn't need or didn't want, and then lip sync it with the video. I don't have to do that as much now. Now the audio is actually attached to the video, now that I figured out how to do that properly. But for this one, I had a reference track. This is the track that the webcam itself recorded, and then this is the track that my microphone recorded. So I just had to sync the audio together and then sync that to the video, and then that worked out just fine. And then the other thing to note is that as long as you keep cutting on zero crossings and the waveform that you are splicing to is of approximately the same type, it will come out. It'll come out like it was meant to be. And there are actually quite a number of artists that will take audio from movies, will cut out individual words, and then splice them together with other words, and then just throw a nice tune in the background, and it comes out as a very, very interesting sounding song. Whether or not that's your thing, that's up to you. But some of those artists are very, very talented, and I would definitely encourage you to at least listen to some of it. I will try to post links of that in the description of this video. And my next video, I will be writing music to a trailer that I downloaded on the internet. I hope you have yourself a wonderful day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.